So, as Felipe told, I'm an architect from the northeast of Brazil. I'm also a project manager by the University of São Paulo and BIM manager. And I would like to start by talking a little bit of design thinking itself and by its creator, which is Tim Brown. Tim Brown says that design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of people, the possibilities of technology, and the requirements for a business success. So design thinking takes tools from the designers to solve people's problems, and it's a process. It's a process that uses empathy as the main ingredient to find the right problems and ask the right questions. And that means that we have to put someone else's shoes on. We have to catch the perspective of the users. And when we say about design thinking and agile, we have something in common. When we read the first of the 12 principles defined by the Agile Manifesto, which is the highest priority is to satisfy the customer through that continuous delivery of valuable software, we have a very similar approach in the design thinking, because this seems to be a very human-focused methodology, just as agile. And in order so we can create human-focused BIM design, we could join them together to complement the creativity part of the project. Why? Because agile is a method that solves predefined problems, while design thinking focuses on finding the right problems to be solved. And that's very, very important when you're doing a project, because we need to have a focus on the right problem. So finding the right problems and solving the problems the right way, so we can create a more valuable project. The idea of joining them together is basically this. Through Agile, we'll solve the problems in the Agile way. With design thinking, we may find the right problems to be solved. As we all know, the design process is a nonlinear process, can be sometimes chaotic, but is always organic and iterative, because there is a lot of repetition in cycles. And it's also, there is a concept of the design process also as with the divergent converge concept. It's like we have to create many choices to make good choices. And a diversity of choices will generate more innovative choices also and solutions for the other phases. And for all of this, design thinking requires a beginner's mindset. That means that we have to be open-minded to create choices, to create a diversity of choices, not only common choices, and try to get rid of biases that we have. And we have to trust the process, and we can co-create. We can create things and do things on the top of the other persons of the team. We can co-create choices to achieve our objective which is to find the right solution at the end. In design thinking, we have 5 steps. According to the D School of Stanford University, we can separate into 5 steps. And the concept of diversion and conversion happens 2 times at this process. And we can see here at the problem space, which is the first part of the design thinking process, where we will try to find the problem, the right problems to be solved at the second diamond here, where is the solution space. Well, the first phase to design thinking is to empathize. Why to empathize? Because we need to put ourselves in the shoes of the users of our project. And empathy is the foundation of the human-centered design. The problems you're trying to solve are rarely your own. They are those of particular users. Build empathy for your users by learning their values. And you have to learn their values to get to know better their pains, their needs, and catch the real problem to be solved. To empathize, you can observe a variety of people that will use this kind of project. You can engage with them, make an interview, and make stakeholders maps, empathy maps. There's a lot of tools under this phase that can be used for this. And the main objective here is to have a problem statement at the end, that we can formulate a question that will be our problem statement to define our problem at the next phase. All of these is used, we can use Post-its to do all of these in the whiteboard, as we all use also in Agile. That's also a very common approach to make it visual for everyone. And then when we define based in our empathy findings and needs, and we have insights, finding patterns between the needs of the different users of this project, we can scope a meaningful challenge based on the understanding of the users, the environments, and then we can have a point of view about the problem. In the ideation part, we have to generate ideas based on mainly on desirability, because when we have alternatives of design and this process goes wide enough, we can have different kind of perspectives from the same problem, different kind of solutions as well that can come up. So we have here a mode of flaring instead of focusing. We have to diverge again. That's when we enter the second diamond of the solution part, when in the ideate. And the goal here is to explore a wide solution, a quantity, a broad diversity of ideas. After this, we have to prototype. We have to select the idea, and prototype that idea. There is a lot of ways to prototype projects in construction. We all know the physical building models, as well as we have the BIM models itself that can be done. But in the early stages, we have to keep them really inexpensive and low resolution so we can have quick changes and explore various possibilities. And prototypes are more successful when people can interact with them, can have some kind of experience with them. And today we have technology that can make these things for us. We have VR, we have the simulations that can be done with BIM models in different softwares, and all of these can be interacted with the prototype, which is the BIM model in this case. And by that simulations that we are going to test and collect feedback also of the people that are involved in the project and also of its users. We're going to present our project to the users, and we will collect a lot of feedbacks so we can improve the product. And the test mode is iterative mode, which you place these low resolution prototypes in the context of its use, so we can test really like with the reality, how we are going to have this in reality. We can do all sort of simulations using BIM models, and this will collect also feedback from the designers, which is very important. And you have to test your prototype as you know you're right. You have your prototype as you know you're right, but you test it as you know if you know you're wrong. You have to test it like many times iteratively. And well, that's it for all. That's it for now. Thank you very much for hearing me saying a little bit about design thinking applied to BIM.